welcome to the wrestling show for November 11th, 2022. Did I say November 11th? I meant November 19th. November 11th, yeah, Veterans Day. Yeah, wrong weekend. Anyway, with us tonight we have Kingpin. How are you tonight?
Yo.
And then we got Jason Stewart, who was in Tulsa last weekend, so he wasn't on the show. How are you tonight?
I'm all right. Thanks a lot.
And finally, we have the cookie, Guns and Barbecue. How are you tonight?
Doing all right. Looking forward to talking wrestling and other things that may pop up in the discussion. However, I don't know why I said however, because there's really no however. Thanks for the invite.
Yep. And those of you out there, some of you may be watching the AEW pay-per-view. I would kindly appreciate if you do not throw any spoilers out there in the chat. So I plan on watching a replay later through questionable means, shall we say. Didn't have the money this time to get this pay-per-view, but that's okay because I'm more excited for the pay-per-view we are going to watch next week anyway.
Can you still get it?
Yeah, but it's already started. It's been going for like 15 minutes now. I ain't worried about it, Jason. You just got back from Tulsa and everything. Never got a chance to talk to you and stuff, so I'm not worried about it. Don't worry about it. We got one next week with WWE, which seems to be it's going to be a more exciting show anyway because it is War Games next week, and boy does that match look good. I don't know if any of you saw SmackDown from last night. The two teams are both set. You got the bloodline of Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn taking on the Brawling Brutes of Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch, also known as Pete Dunne, against Drew McIntyre and the fifth guy who was announced last night, Kevin Owens. So that is going to be
That will make an
a hell of a
interesting
match.
dynamic.
Oh, yes, it will. And as far as the pay-per-view tonight, the speculation that we had last week that the Elite were going to come back tonight and take on the Trios champions of Death Triangle was correct. They had announced that on Wednesday, so that is one of the matches that will be going on tonight on that pay-per-view. Hell, that match could be going on now for all I know. The last time they had the Trios tags on a pay-per-view, it was the first match of the night. So, but yeah, but next week's pay-per-view looks like it's going to be the bigger deal. Not that Moxley versus MJF isn't a hell of a main event, but yeah, the War Games on the main roster in WWE. Yes, please. And I know Barbecue's been watching like SmackDown and Raw because we talked about it last week. But man, since Triple H has been in charge, the shows have really gotten better over on the WWE side of the table. I actually watched both Raw and SmackDown this week. What were you going to say, Barbecue? I saw you unmute real quick.
Oh, I was just going to say I only watch the little highlights that WWE puts up on YouTube, just so anybody knows, because I don't have cable, and I realize that there's probably some streaming service out there, but I don't have a streaming service, so.
Yeah, I don't know if SmackDown streams on anything, but I know Raw does on Peacock. But with Peacock being owned by NBC, I don't know if they do SmackDown on there or not. Because SmackDown's on Fox, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, you could watch. Do you get a local Fox affiliate over antenna?
I'm pretty sure I do if I had an antenna, but I don't have an antenna either.
Oh. Well, that helps.
I know, right?
You should at least get an antenna. It don't cost that much.
Yeah, the thing is, I never turn on my TV. The only time my TV's usually on is when my kids are watching it. Otherwise, I'm always trying to keep up on the two-way stuff and whatnot. So it's, normally always stuck in my phone, checking out, I guess you could call them dirt sheets, because that's what a lot of the two-way channels boil down to anymore is, oh, this is happening, and a bunch of fear mongering. I mean, we all know that, but yeah, so I'm normally trying to keep up with all that. I really don't have time to just turn on the TV and watch something for leisure.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking on Peacock right now, and they do have SmackDown on Peacock, which is interesting since that's on Fox.
Yeah. Figured Fox would be tied in with like Discovery or something.
Well, Disney Plus maybe, because Fox Entertainment is owned by Disney now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The last episode of SmackDown they have is from October, so they're a little behind. Just a smidge. So yeah, you're not going to see last night's episode of SmackDown on Peacock. But, yeah, there was a decent match between Ricochet and Mustafa Ali on SmackDown last night, part of their tournament for the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm sure that would have been a fine match. Not my style match though. But for the people that are into the high flying stuff, that had to been awesome one to see.
Yeah. And then you had the New Day and Braun Strowman take on Imperium. Gunther chopped Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman just looked at his chest and looked at Gunther like Gunther was nuts. I have never seen anybody take a chop from him and just not act like it affected them before. That was strange. Yeah. Later in the match, Gunther went and chopped him again and had the same effect, and Gunther ran away. He literally just ran out of the ring. He's like, nope, I'm done.
That's awesome. So, Rich, last week we were doing a bunch of fantasy booking.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I don't remember when I was last on, but
it was last week. It would have been
that's
last
what I thought.
week.
So, all this talk about Austin coming back, possibly at Mania. So let's hypothetically say The Rock says, nope, too busy, can't do it. Do you have Austin and Reigns square off at Mania?
Nope.
No?
I know.
You don't
Nope.
think?
Austin versus Austin. Honest to God, they just turned Austin Theory into a badass, cocky heel instead of the selfie guy.
Saw that. Which,
yes.
Like, is he getting buried? Is he getting buried? Like, what a way to turn a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just, have him go on the bury streak, essentially lose the Money in the Bank for not even over a friggin' world title or anything. And then, at that point, people think, oh, he's toast. And then, boom, you just have him.
Oh, he snapped on Rollins and beat the holy hell out of him. I'm not a kid! And just starts beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
That is what Austin Theory should have been from the start.
I don't like the idea of an Austin match, though. I want there to be more of a story. Because at the end of the day,
the whole thing was they're talking about Austin coming back and having a battle of two generations. What's more generational than the oldest guy on the roster versus the youngest guy on the roster?
Yeah, but that's. I mean, other than that, I mean, what would be the point?
Well,
Let's
what's the point in
say,
Austin? What's the
and
point in Austin having another match anyway?
the nostalgia of it. And the thing is, so let's say he can still go. You're gonna want to try and milk that for a few more. Now, does Austin want to milk it for a few more? That will remain to be seen. However, a lot of these guys that have come back for these nostalgia matches stick around for a few on average. So just having them, because at the end of the day, I mean, I guess if you're really trying to push Theory to the moon, then absolutely. Um, have him face Austin, and Austin eats the pin at Mania, and goes away. But I,
The other,
why
the
bring back
others,
Austin just to eat another loss?
well, the other story is that Cena may want to come back for Mania as well, and I'd rather see Austin versus Austin Theory than Austin versus Cena, which is what some people are speculating.
Yeah, I don't want to see Austin versus Cena either.
In fact, I don't want to see Cena. Period.
That's what I was just thinking. Do I want to see Cena? Because I was like, all right,
Yeah.
let's say that again, The Rock's like, you know what, I just can't fit it in my schedule. I got to decline. And they've been holding these belts on Roman, all that fun jazz. Do you have Cena come back, face Roman, and get his 17th world title, break Flair's record finally? But at the same time, I'm like, I really don't want to see that either.
Yeah.
Going on the idea of, you got Stone Cold coming back. He can come in, just be the Hellraiser ass whooper that he always is. Plus, Roman's been more of a brawler recent anyway, so you'd have two brawlers just slinging it in that match. You could have Austin take one title, because I mean, if they're still looking to break them up, which I'm sure they are, but Austin can say, "Hey, this is the title. This is the only thing I care about. Get your ass to SmackDown. You no good liver mouth, blah blah blah," and do his whole spiel. And but then that's still all predicated that Cody's not ready to come back at Mania.
Mm-hmm. And given Austin's match last year versus Owens, I'm not real super stoked about seeing Steve Austin in another match, to be honest with you. Especially not a championship match. So, it's just, yeah, Austin coming back from another match, I could take it or leave it. Austin versus Cena, no thank you.
No.
Austin coming back to put over a younger guy, I could see that.
And it would make sense, in that sense. Like, hey, we need to rocket this guy to the moon. How do we do it? Hey, Stone Cold, will you come back and eat a pin for us? And I'm sure he's more than willing to help play ball like that. But at the same time, it's got to be the right guy for him to do that. He's not going to do that for just anybody. So if he does that, people need to realize, Theory is going to be, the next Hogan, the next Cena. This guy's going to be the marquee for the next 10, 20 years.
Well, we talked about it a couple months ago. Austin Theory has the talent, he has the tools. Vince was booking him badly. If they're going to go with the booking from now on with him that he had on Monday, then they're on to something.
Yep.
Because he didn't come out to the ring with the cell phone, taking the selfies and everything. He marched onto that ring and just started beating the hell out of Seth Rollins. It's like something had snapped after he got screwed by Lashley the week before. Which is essentially what happened. If you saw Raw last week, not this past week, but the week before, when he went to cash in the briefcase. Then the reason why Seth Rollins still has the U.S. title is because Lashley pulled Theory out of the ring when Theory was going for the pin after hitting his finisher on Rollins, which allowed Rollins to recuperate as Ashley was beating Theory up outside. And then when Theory whirled back in the ring, Rollins hit the curb stomp and got the pin. So they're doing a good job of transitioning him at this point. See if it keeps going next week or not. But so far, it looks good what they're doing with him. And part of his anger was the fact that he did lose the way he did. And he's tired of everybody talking about him like he's a little kid or something, was that other thing. As he's beating up Rollins, he's like, I'm not a kid. Does this look like a kid? You know, all kinds of stuff like that. Whatnot. So. Uh-oh, lost barbecue. So what do you guys have seen Austin Theory? What do you think? Cocky badass heel more seem like it's going to be a better fit for him in your opinions?
I really didn't like the whole Theory guy anyway.
Sorry, I'm finally getting on my desktop. It takes a little while to boot up because the Zoom stuff takes forever to start processing since I never renewed it. They want like $130 a year, and I'm not paying $130 a year. I don't use it enough to warrant that.
Is it running off of an SSD or hard drive?
Whatever the hell's in my desktop, probably just a regular hard drive.
That could be part of your problem too. I know you don't got the best vision in the world to be doing it. Do you have somebody that could put an SSD in there for you?
If I knew what one to buy and all that, maybe. But I don't know enough about that crap. And again, I don't really use it enough to worry about it. You know, like when I'm using my desktop, it's literally just pretty much for live shows. I'm actually going to be using it a lot more for editing photos, things like that I've been taking.
Yeah,
but
SSD
even that
an SSD comes in handy for that because your editing software will load a lot faster.
Yeah, well, I was going to say even for that though, I literally just got a 2 terabyte Seagate SSD external to run all that through.
Right about now, Gary, you're just in time. Barbecue and Rich are actually together, and they're going to turn their cameras on and start wrestling right now.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
You know, we're probably closer than what me and Barbecue are, Kingpin.
Yeah, I know that, but if I'd have said you and I were going to wrestle, people would be like, yeah, right, Rich isn't crazy.
Yeah, you'd hide behind the ring post and I'd never find you.
Well, don't get counted out of the ring. 10 count looking for me.
I'm trying to think what else we could talk about.
I got one for you guys. Rich is not gonna answer because he doesn't like to have fun like this, but and no disrespect to anybody, this is just all fun and game, allegedly fun and games. Britt Baker or the American Gun Chick? That's her name, right? The blonde hair girl from the YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, Britt Baker.
I think I'd go Britt Baker as well.
No way to have them both.
No, you got to pick one or the other, Jason.
Yeah, you gotta have one or the other.
See, he's doing what you thought I was going to do.
No, I thought you were just gonna not answer because you never answer when we talk about chicks.
That's not true. Oh, no.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, now I'm not muted. You listen here, Rich White. I'll take you anytime, anywhere. Hockey injury from Wii, it don't matter. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Who let Hulk Hogan in here?
Listen here, brother.
The hell did he call himself when he wore the mask when he was
How do you
banned?
put him on the big screen? Which one of these buttons puts him on the big screen down there?
The one that's his picture?
Top left corner.
Yeah, top left corner.
Oh, click on the 3 dots.
No, not the 3 dots. The thing that looks like a picture.
Yeah, it's kind of gray. Top left corner.
Yeah.
What?
You got like what looks
It
like a
comes on when you
person
put
in
your
the
Oh,
rectangle.
down on his
mouse
icon
over it.
thing. Okay.
Yeah,
All
there you
right,
go.
there it is. I see it.
You listen here, Rich White. I don't care about your VA claims for your Wii hockey injury. I don't care about your tendonitis from playing with your Wii too much. You gonna mess with the real American, you're gonna dink it in the ass.
Okay, now we need to get Foss in here with his Mexican mask, and then the two of you can.
Did he say he was going to take it in the test? Is that what he said?
Well,
Oh,
that's
he
why I
is.
s-
He's
No,
gonna have
that's why-
another VA claim.
That's why I said we need Foss in here with his mask. What was his name with the mask on?
Oh, El Asshole Wipo.
Oh,
Yeah,
way to
that's
give
a
that
Wipo,
away
yeah.
finally. Thank God DJ doesn't watch this show. I still have DJ believing that we have no idea who the fuck that guy was.
Really?
Seriously?
Like, he's hell bent that it's Foss, but I was like, seriously, no. Because then I even got Gunpowder to come in and be like, yeah, no, it wasn't Foss. Don't know who the hell it was. And he's like, are
Oh,
you
my
serious?
God.
Yeah.
That mask is awesome, though. I love that thing.
Yeah, it's like $10 on Amazon. It was awesome.
That
Yeah,
is awesome.
first thing I thought of when you turned your camera on was Hulk Hogan when he was banned
Yep.
and he came back with the Star Spangled
I don't
Banner
remember what
mask.
the hell that character's name was, though.
I don't either. I wanted to say the Patriot, but that was a different wrestler. That was an actual wrestler who wore a mask similar to that in the Southern Territories.
Quick programming note. And hopefully I'm not overstepping my authority, but I don't think I am. Gary, if you want to come hop on and chat with us, man, we can send you the link and you can hop in with us if you want to. No, you don't talk wrestling, but if you just want to come hang out, you're more than welcome to join.
Get in here, Chicken Man. It'll be Chicken Man versus the real American. Or not verse. We're going to team up, and we're going to shove a chicken bone up Rich White's ass.
Man, what is your fascination with my ass? All of a sudden?
Chicken wing from the top rope.
Hey,
You never heard that song by Toby Keith?
The
The Angry American, where we're going to shove a boot up Osama's ass? That's what America does. We shove it up your ass.
But
America.
As far as the chicken wing's concerned, there is a wrestling finisher known as the chicken wing, and then there is the crossface chicken wing.
Remember back when we were kids? That was like one of the bad type of moves. Like you were like, "Oh man, he got hit with the chicken wing, the crossface. He's done."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marty Scurll, whenever he gets out of the cancel prison or whatever, his finisher is the crossface chicken wing.
You following a fly around in your room or something, barbecue?
Yeah, he's just like looking around like, huh?
No, I'm doing awesome wrestler movements.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay. It looks like you're
That's
looking at a fly.
It definitely what it is, but I never realized how much it looked like the wrestlers were following a fly around.
Yeah, it looks like a cat when a cat sees a fly.
So, Rich, what's your wrestler name?
I don't have.
It doesn't matter what your wrestler name is!
Now, I have to stop and think, as on the wrestling game.
You know, there's probably somebody out there right now like, fuck this. Barbecue keeps yelling into his freaking microphone. I'm wearing headphones. What a dick.
Sorry, Squib.
Well, Squib already can't hear from the machinery he works around anyway. That's why Ree never hears Rick when Rick calls on him on the show.
To be fair, Squib has put up with that for years, and Rick goes, "Hey, Squib, talk to me, Squib." Like he doesn't, he doesn't give anybody a second. It's, "Hey, Rich, talk to me, Rich."
No, he's never done that to me.
Wait a second, he will.
No, I always get him going on the open face grilled cheese.
It's on toast.
It's on toast.
We got hot off the
Yeah, I saw that.
chicken fryer. Ends chat tonight.
Hence
That's
chat.
a fake time zone, by the way. That's actually 10:30 p.m.
Uh-huh. That's 2 hours from now, folks. Not 1, 2.
What's 2 hours from now?
Hens chat. Gary, Sarge, Obi, and Snob.
Going to the range tomorrow with my my sister's kids, my niece and my nephew, and they're getting their CCW permits tomorrow.
Cool.
Well,
Fantastic.
they're getting. You guys watch the video, so they're getting the code that they need to go on and all that other kind of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look at this.
Oh, now he's the Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate American Warrior.
Oh, all right. I thought that actually looks dope, though. That looks pretty
It does actually, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you would, I mean, you don't got to do it now because you're a blind guy, but if the nose was like straight on your face,
It's not.
you would have
Apparently,
to.
my
other
nose is
side.
just crooked in general.
To the
You
other
need to,
side.
to move the nose a little bit to
To
your
your
left.
right.
Yeah, it might
No,
be
you're
the
right,
mask
you're right,
underneath
you're right.
that's off.
You're right.
You're right.
Yeah, it might be the
Almost,
mask
Yeah,
underneath.
perfect. That's it. You keep poking it up. Move it back to the right just a smidge.
Just a little bit.
There.
That's what I'm thinking. It's the mask underneath that's off a little bit. You might want to move
Yeah, it's
that
a
a little to the left.
Again, it's a $10 luchador mask.
But that actually looks pretty cool together.
I'm gonna become a professional wrestler now. See you guys later.
Hey,
You
Stan
got-
Hansen was legally blind, so that's
You know
that's
what
how
would
he
be
ended up
cool?
knocking Vader's eye out of socket. He hit him because he couldn't see, and pop went in his eye. Right out of socket, and he popped it right back in and kept going with the match.
Oh, what were you gonna say, Jason?
I was going to say, do you got one of those masks in blackface?
Does he look like Justin Trudeau to you?
Yeah, Justin Trudeau paints his whole body.
I just tried
this
to
is
get
true.
ratings here, that's all.
I don't even remember why the hell I have the Ultimate Warrior mask.
What the hell was the
Got
governor of Virginia that did that? The one governor going Virginia.
Oh, Governor Coonman.
Yeah, what the hell was his name?
That's not a racial insult. That's what his yearbook name said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, have abortions up to a year after birth. You know that guy.
Yeah.
They scrubbed that from everywhere on the internet. It is hard as hell to find that video clip anymore.
You don't have a shred of proof. Not a shred.
Well, Kingpin and I have both seen that video clip.
Yeah. Dog face pony soldier liar.
The favorite part about that whole thing is the guy's a pediatrician.
Wants to kill off his own clientele.
The hell's a pony soldier?
U.S. cavalry.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like, how's that an insult?
That dog face pony soldier.
Lion dog faced pony soldier.
There's a guy, that Dan Bongino guy, said that he was flipping through Rumble or one of the internets, and a guy had a channel. One of, I don't know if it's a channel, a page, or whatever they call them somewhere, and it was things that didn't happen. And he went through a bunch of different stuff that was provable that didn't happen, and a lot of people actually thought that would happen. And since Joe Biden's been president, his entire channel's just been every day putting out a video of Joe Biden saying that his grandfather won the Heisman Trophy last year, and that kind of stuff. And every day he gets to put out a video or a post or whatever of Joe Biden telling a blatant, provable lie.
Well, Joe Biden spent his life in the synagogue while he grew up around a bunch of Puerto Rican kids and was a college professor.
In the black church, that synagogue was
in the black. Yeah. And that's how he learned about roaches,
Hey,
which are kids that ride school buses from black neighborhoods.
hey, it was what? Maybe a
Some
month
things
ago.
that Joe Biden has said.
Yeah, about a month ago, Joe Biden said some stuff about that. How his grandpa was an all-American or something, right? Remember that? I went and looked. And I went and looked up the family history, and I found Joe Biden's grandpa. And I went and looked in the years for on the records of who was an All American in college. And I went through about a 10-year patch, and I couldn't find him nowhere. And like according to his own life biography, got married young and went off started a business and stuff. There wasn't anything at all about really college or being an athlete or anything with the dude.
Well,
If that
let's
was
look at
even
it.
remotely true, ESPN would have did 3 hours on it.
Well, let's look at it this way, okay? Joe Biden is 80 years old. His grandfather would have been in college around 1900. Did they even have All-American back then?
Yeah. I was looking at records from the late 1800s all the way up into like the 1900s and the teens, year by year, and oh yes, sir, all Americans. A lot of famous names you'd recognize in history.
Okay.
You kind of look.
I was just trying to remember when they came up with that. So it was like, would they even ever
Yeah.
had it back then?
Oh yeah. When they played in like wool sweaters and leather helmets, man. Yeah. Uh huh. Oh yeah, they show you can tell just by reading the All American list year after year what teams were dominant for that period of time. You know what I mean? A lot of Notre Dame, a lot of Michigan, uh, stuff like that. You could, yeah, they most definitely had All Americans.
Yeah, let's not forget, too, that Joe Biden thinks his son Bo died of cancer while fighting in Iraq.
Yeah. Even though.
Let's not forget, Joe Biden's grandfather might have been an All-American, but I am the real American. I gotta take this. Be right back.
It's somebody calling to see if he can save the day. I wonder if he's stuck in wrestling character when he answers the phone.
I don't know.
Hi, Mom. What are you doing this evening? Don't make me kick your candy ass.
Oh, yeah. Snap it to a Slim Jim. Anybody got a Slim Jim? Oh, damn. No, I want a Slim Jim and I ain't got any.
Gotta get me a 300 blackout. I want it in colors. Where can I get colored AR parts
Is it going to be purple?
from? Blue and white, black.
Oh, you can get about anywhere.
Really? Because the internet doesn't help me with that. I've looked at it like all the places and none of them have colored stuff.
Oh my God, man, we just at SHOT Show. There was like tables of thousands. You get any color combination, receivers, barrels, parts, buttons, grips.
Yeah,
Your choice everywhere.
Yeah, I forget who it is I'm subbed to on YouTube in their comments page or tab. They had where they're building one and it's going to be purple.
Most
Is
go
that who
to
it
like
was?
your gun shop. A lot of gun shops or someplace around there, they might offer Cerakoting.
Well, Chris and I were talking about that because I asked him. He put that Black Ordnance Tactical or whatever thing out that had all the colored different designs,
Uh-huh.
and you can't access their website the way it says. Like you can't custom build something. That part just doesn't work. And Chris mentioned the same thing. He was like, "You should just buy your parts and have them Cerakoted," but I don't really want to do that. And I got a guy at my range that does Cerakoting, and maybe I could, butter Snobby up to do some Cerakoting for me if I needed him to.
Oh,
But
there should be lots of businesses local, man.
yeah,
that
there's
do it.
tons of guys around here that can do it. I got a guy that runs a tattoo parlor. That's like an amazing artist, and people like him around here a lot. He could even paint it for me. But I don't want to paint it. I want to buy a blue piece.
Well, the blue piece you're buying was just Cerakoted, Kingpin.
Yeah, you just get it Cerakoted.
Yeah, it's a company, just a factory painted it.
Yeah.
At least like when you Cerakote it yourself or whatever, you can buy parts from different companies that you like the shape or whatever, and then have them painted and they'll all be the same shade of blue. Because if you go buy this upper from somebody and this
That's
lower
another
from
problem. Yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
and the blues won't match. You'll just have a ugh.
Uh-huh.
See what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I was
And
thinking about just spray painting it myself too.
No, it
there's
won't
different
stick.
types of Cerakote. You got kind where you can just spray it on there like you would spray paint and let it cure on its own. And then you have the kind where you spray it and then you put it in the oven
You bake
and
it on.
cure it in the oven.
Yeah, but Cerakote's not expensive, bro. It's not expensive. You could get all custom work. It's not expensive, not at all. It,
Hell, as long as it's not the serialized part, you can send it to Snob and have him do it.
Yeah,
well,
no, I can. I mean, that's obviously an option, but I also don't want to, burden Snob because even though I can pay him, I don't want. I'd hate to have to put him on that feeling like he's
Well,
like.
he owes you back pay for all the times you kiss his butt on these videos.
Well, yeah, but he deserves that. I
hey,
mean, I wouldn't want to put him out and to feel like
there
obligated.
there's plenty of top firearm Cerakoters out there that got their FFL, so you can send them your whole lower rifle, whatever, all your pieces, whatever.
Well, yeah, no,
Uh,
I got a guy at my range I'll see tomorrow that does Cerakoting.
Okay, I was gonna say there's a place in Martinsburg that does that kind of stuff too. They do bluing, Cerakoting, water
yeah,
dipping.
I know several places around here and several other people on the internet that do it around here, and all kinds of the major gun shops offer it. Uh,
I think 2023 is going to be the year of the AR for me. At least three.
I'm all choked up, man. I'm so happy for you.
I was trying. I went pistol for pretty much a long time, and I took. Oh my goodness, man! I don't know what happened to it. Maybe some gremlins got into my gun case and turned my scope backwards or something. But my newer model, the Marlin 60 that I actually take to the range, I wasn't hit. I couldn't even find. I'm shooting at a probably a 6x6 target at 50 yards, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Like it was completely off. So I got to completely restart. Most likely, I'll have to go through my entire collection, re-zero all my scope.
Oh, just warms my heart. Kingpin's talking custom ARs. Oh man, I got to. Don't even think about anything else. Don't forget about the price. Do whatever. You got to get a Geisley trigger.
Oh
You can
yeah,
even do it yourself. It take you 5 minutes. You can watch a little video of that dude doing it right in front of you. Easy as could be, man. Can't believe how easy it is. It'd be the best thing about your rifle, a Geisley trigger. It'll make it more accurate. It just make it all better. You'd hate to even shoot another gun without one of those triggers in it.
I'm gonna put it all like I'm definitely gonna do the trigger. I'm definitely gonna go with Geisley for my first one for sure. And only thing I'm not gonna actually put together, I'll probably buy the upper complete. Maybe swap out the and get a different bolt carrier group if I see something that I like. But I'm not really interested in headspace and stuff like that. I'd rather just buy a barrel already set up and ready to go.
Oh,
Head
you can,
spacing on an AR is not as vital
yeah.
as it is on like an AK. An AK, you have to make sure you got the head spacing right because you cannot adjust it once you got it pinned. You got that barrel pinned in there, you're done. You have to have your. With an AR, you can adjust it slightly to
Just
fix
just
any problems.
just buy you a upper. Just buy you a upper. It's already put together, brother.
That's probably what I will do.
That's
The
all you
one
got to do.
problem
And
that
that same upper that you just go buy, and then you get your lower or get the same company, get a match set or whatever. Uh, you're sending that whole thing out to get Cerakoted, right? So
yeah,
don't worry about building it, but buy the upper. That's the only thing you got to worry about. Then you don't have any that headspace crap or any of that, and the little parts, the buttons, the trigger, the magazine release, all that stuff. That's like super easy, no real special tools or nothing, man.
I
Just
want to
buy
get
it upper.
I like the A2 front sights, but I haven't really, and I haven't diligently searched, but I haven't really seen too much 300 blackout that comes with the A2 fronts.
No, no, I looked one time. That's rough to get right there.
Yeah. To bring this back to wrestling, if you're going to build three ARs, one's got to have an AEW logo and the other one's got to have a WWE logo on the lower.
Oh, I've already got a pretty good idea of the theme that I'm going with for all three of them. They'll be revealed when the build is done, and I put the video out.
But yeah, brother, I just unless you could buy one like out at Shot Show, they had like whole uppers and other parts and all the colors matched. You know what I mean? But without being that, like some stuff's anodized and that's different. You're gonna have to go with have it anodized or buy every piece from the same person for the color to match. So
Right.
Cerakote's really the deal, though, man. It's durable. It's that's the way to go. That's why everybody does it. You got almost like endless color choices and combinations. They can stripe it. They can logo it. They can just paint each color individually. Whatever, man. The sky's the limit with it.
Yeah, you got custom gun makers. You order the gun and they Cerakote it whatever color you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's how it
super
works.
easy.
All these top brands of everything, man, are Cerakoted. My Nighthawk pistol Cerakoted, brother. It
Yeah.
ain't blued or anything. That's Cerakote.
I'd like to be in, all said and done, no more than $2,000.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you could build a nice custom rifle with optics for that kind of money.
Yeah.
Wow, that killed the chat.
So I tried to look up. You said that War Games is the next WWE pay per view,
Yeah, Survivor Series is War Games this year.
but when you look up War Games, that's an NXT thing.
Yeah, well, this is the first year they're doing it on the main roster. Instead of
Okay.
the traditional Survivor Series match, they're doing War Games.
Well, that's weird because I looked up WWE War Games and it brought me up to last year's event, the 2021 event.
Yeah, hold on. I'll screen share and show you.
That's what I was gonna do. So we, like, as we're going through the matches, we can look at the people and be like, okay, that's the guy that I think is gonna win the fight.
See, this year's Survivor Series is War Games.
Yeah.
I don't know if it shows. Yeah, it's not going to show them the match card, but yeah. So look, if you're going to do that, look for Survivor Series War Games, because War Games is the subtitle for Survivor Series this year.
You know what you should probably do, Rich? You should probably put out a video on your Unloaded Media channel to tell people that you got the Unloaded Wrestling channel.
Yeah, well, we announced it for like a couple of weeks before we switched over.
Yeah, but you also got to get that, like Rocall says, the people that just zip through that,
Yeah,
surfing through YouTube.
and put it on a community tab and stuff too, since it's got the community tab now.
It's hard, man. I got lucky. I just happened to start hanging out with gun channels, and a lot of gun channels people, when I started making videos, subbed to my channel. So it was like my friends already subbed, so but starting brand new, not knowing anybody, like if you were just John Q. Public who didn't and decided, okay, today I'm gonna get on this thing called YouTube and start a channel, you better have some banging content and keyword searches, because it's hard to get people to see your channel if you don't got subscribers already.
Yeah. Oh, even on the Unloaded Media, I got 322.
But you also got to understand the controversial nature. There's a lot of us that won't watch that channel because of the controversial nature. People who you hang out with on a regular basis who don't watch that because of the stuff we talk about.
I don't know, I'm looking at even the videos I do. I mean, so it's hit or miss on what I get on view counts, even on the recorded stuff, just regular videos.
You've only done like 4 videos in the 80
Yeah,
years.
you might want to check that.
Like, I'm sorry, 5.
I got more than that too. Like, I got a video here with over 1,000 views. The one right next to it's got 55 views. It's like, what?
Yeah, my channel will do that. Like, if I put out, it used to be Wednesday, like just before Rick's show, like around 6:30 area. If I put out a video, I'd get 200 or 300 views on it. And then there was, I think maybe Sunday was another day, like Sunday evening, I got good counts. And it's kind of the same way now. If I put out a video on a certain day, I'll get 100 views. If I put out a video any other day, I'll get about 50, which is fine by me, because once I stopped doing just the random gun videos and I started making the videos that I felt like making, I got a real clear understanding that all the numbers don't actually matter. So currently, if I'm sitting at an average of 50 views, I've got about 50 subscribers to my channel.
What's crazy is the two videos I have with the most views are both Mossberg.
My CZPO1 has got like probably 28 or 29,000 views on it right now. And then the Browning 380 1911 is probably around 20,000. And then a bunch of my Maryland gun laws are 10,000 or so. And my gun views got fairly decent amount of views, especially for me, because I consider 100, 200 views to be very, very, very acceptable.
The one that's got the most views is the short that was never released as a short, but YouTube decided it was a short, which was me shooting the Shockwave. That's got 22,000. The next most views is another Mossberg video that has half of that, 11,000 views.
The Jet Shocky video that I put out, the Circle Back, that got like 8,000 views the first day. And then, but a lot of people were sharing that, and a lot of people were watching it over and over and over again. And then there's another video. I had to apologize to a bunch of people. Not apologize, but explain. The Bald and Curious was talking trash about me. So the video I put out that says "Am I Yankee Marshall?" that got like 3,000 views in like the first 2 hours. And everybody was like, "What's this mean? What's this mean?" And I was like, "Sorry, I didn't think about putting Yankee's name in my title, that a bunch of Yankee people would come and be like, what is this all about?" When I got bombarded with Yankee people like, "Oh, what do you do? What do you do?"
Yeah, the only way you look like Yankee Marshall is if you're wearing a fat suit.
Well, he was saying, since I don't shoot, it's the proverbial pick on the gun channel that doesn't show shooting videos kind of thing. So he was messing with me, picking on me because I don't show shooting videos. And then, so I took my camera to the range and did a shooting video, and I titled it "Am I Yankee Marshall?" Because he said, "What are you, Yankee Marshall?" Because apparently Yankee doesn't do shooting videos either.
Well, hell, I've only got one. I got one shooting video on my channel.
I watch Gun Toting Pacifist does shooting videos, and I watch them because of who he is. Uh, Same with Travis, and then the Right to Bear Arms or Arm Bears guy. Uh, I watch them because they're my friends, and I want to watch their videos. But when like a stranger, like you guys like to watch that Paul Harrell character, there's no way in the world I'm going to watch Paul Harrell stand there and shoot a gun.
Oh, he tells you if you don't want to watch him shoot the gun, skip to this. Tell you,
Well, yeah,
fast
sure.
forward here until you see me standing in the next to the pad of paper. You know?
Right, right. But the same thing goes with, like Hillbilly Up. If Hillbilly Up wasn't hanging out with us and I just came across his channel, I'm not going to watch somebody shooting watermelons and coffee cake and stuff like that. But I watch him because he's a cool dude.
Yeah, the only channel I've been watching I mean, I'll watch Paul Harrell stuff, but Paul Harrell's got a lot of interesting scientific information that he goes over when he does things. He doesn't just shoot to shoot. He's shooting to break down statistics on like different ammos and stuff to see how they perform and whatnot.
Well, yeah,
That's
to be
interesting.
fair, I don't know anything about Paul Harrell aside from what I've learned from you guys. So it's
Yeah,
not a brag on him either.
the only other channel I've been watching lately where he goes out and shoots is Honest Outlaw because he gives an honest opinion of what he thinks of a gun. If he doesn't like it, he's not Such. He tells you flat out, this gun sucks.
When I first got into watching gun videos, obviously Hickok came up, and I was fascinated because he was good. I was like, wow, this guy can really shoot. And then I started shooting a little bit, and I was like, oh shoot, anybody should be able to do that. That's not that hard. especially especially that 18-foot wide gong that he shoots at. Anybody could hit that.
Mm-hmm. Well, hell, if you look at the video Honest Outlaw put out today, he got one of them Gerson, the Beretta clones. He was hitting steel target from 125 yards with that thing, just out of the box. He's like, I couldn't do this with my Beretta. Like,
Daniel God is My Judge puts out good shooting videos because he'll do that 10 shots from 10 yards, 10 shots from 20 yards, 10 shots from 60 yards, 10 shots from 100 yards kind of stuff. And it makes it interesting. But we're like, Wild and Curious, he goes to the range and just pop, 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 pop. And those videos are boring, but I watch him because he's cool.
Yeah. Oh, Honest Outlaw and his wife, they try and keep it entertaining while they're, doing the review of the gun. Because his wife will make smart ass comments towards him and stuff as he's shooting. Because she's his camera operator. So you could hear her in the background, like, you missed, and stuff like that.
Chris from the 740 does a pretty good job with shooting videos because of the way he edits and adds music and, does different views and stuff like that. Same thing with Snobby, like when Snobby does the overhead drone stuff, or an Altor hits him in the face. That's kind of cool to see. But,
or an optic.
Right.
Pacifist he's just a copycat. Snob's the original kid hit in the face with the optic.
Jason's going to be doing some PCC matches here soon.
Nah, I'm gonna use pistol.
Yeah.
Are you going to go pistol?
Yeah.
You know what we need? We need Stacy to start doing a channel where all she does is review shotguns.
Yeah. Normally, see, there's another situation of bias. Because when I see those gun fail videos, I don't watch them, and depending on how repetitive the gun fail video, I might delete it, like, don't recommend this video to me. But I like watching Stacy.
She just dropped the shotgun. Good job, Stace. She could. We're only saying this because she's not out in the chat.
How dare you, gentlemen? I'll defend the lady. Snob should have never put her in that
Jason's
situation.
texting her now. Hey, they're picking on you on Rich's show. I'm waiting to get a text. Quit picking on me, you son of a bitch.
You know, I'll give it to these guys, man. Making videos, even the ones that seem simple, and interviewing people, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of expense in cameras and computers and microphones and editing time. Uh, that's hard work, man. Them guys put hard work in that. That's why I'll never do it.
No, like, that's what I was mentioning this morning on Caliber Corner about taking the cameras to the shooting. And I understand that you're trying to make yourself better so you can watch yourself in slow motion and stuff. But same thing with me at Watermaker. I'm not going to turn my camera on. I didn't come here to take pictures. I came here to enjoy the place. That's for me. I have nothing. I'm not going to sit up here and rail on the people that go to take pictures and do all that stuff. That's all good and gravy. But for me, I'd want to go enjoy the show and enjoy hanging out with you guys and just leave the camera in my pocket. But as you can see, I'm not big on, cameras.
Man, we were talking about it on Gary's after chat last night. SIG is not going to SHOT Show again this year. But they are going to be at the Great American Outdoor Show. Maybe I can actually get a fucking video that works. Yeah,
Why are they not going to SHOT Show?
Don't know. Well, Smith & Wesson's not going to be at the Great American Outdoor Show this year.
Well, I mean, you can't be everywhere, I would imagine. Unless
they were there last year.
A company like Smith & Wesson or SIG, you can afford to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you would think the surprising thing for me is SIG is a company that has been lately coming out with a lot of new models and a lot of new stuff. You know what I mean? They have the products that they need to push to show the media and the public. For them not being there must mean they don't have nothing new on the horizon.
Well, they did last year and they weren't at SHOT. Because remember last year's when they came out with the integrally compensated versions of the P365 and the 380 in the 365.
I don't think SIG likes you. Us. Anybody.
I'm not looking forward to seeing I'm going to say the C word, the pistol culture turning into a chassis thing. CZ's turning the 320 into a basic P80. And it's not going to stop. I think every company is going to come out with their own version of this. Build your own and call it a P365 or call it a John Smith 182. I don't like it.
Well, the part that's actually the P365 is the fire control group.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. The modular pistols.
Yeah, they already got
polymer frame, pull the guts out in one piece.
Yeah.
That's the only gun. Change grips, slides.
Well, it's modular. That's the whole point. I mean.
Yeah, but it's not traditional gun. It's not traditional gunsmithing. The parts that in it aren't traditional at all. You know what I mean?
Well, if you think about it, guns were traditional where they had the gunsmithing and stuff. If you had to fix something, it cost you an arm and a leg. Now, you got something wrong, you easily swap a part out yourself and you don't have to go to a gunsmith. In a way, that's a good thing.
If it works for 111 years, why change it?
I'm not saying that they can't. I'm saying what they're going to do is go full-blown 100% both feet in the water at the same time. Modular.
Well, the SIG already has.
That's the point that I'm making. That's all the words that I've said for the past 5 minutes.
if you look at Live Free Armory, Live Free Armory has essentially done it with a Glock.
Right. And then next Taurus is going to do it. Then Ruger's going to do it. Then Smith & Wesson's going to do it. Then
Beretta's already done it. The
Beretta's
APX.
See, there's a reason behind it. It's because it's cheaper and easier to manufacture. The design wasn't developed and put into production for it to be an improvement, to be a super upgrade to the best. It was all done to be cheaper, less skilled labor, almost zero.
I don't know about that because those fire control groups takes more machining and stuff to make than it does just a standard trigger.
It's stamped parts. It's not.
There's still more work involved. If you look at the P365's fire control group, that's not stamped. I've taken it apart and looked at that. Is a machine. Those are machined parts.
Yeah, the whole idea is for it to be cheaper and easier. Striker fired, modular, polymer frames. All of this is made to be cheaper for them to produce so they can make a higher profit on them. Plain and simple. It's not to make a better firearm. It's to make one cheaper.
I still got to disagree because it takes more work to put one of those fire control groups together than it does just put a simple Glock trigger in a gun.
I don't care about any of that stuff. I just don't want these companies to go full blast on it. I want them to make good guns and leave all that build crap up to places like Live Free Armory. Let Live Free Armory enjoy their success and do what they do. Build their own Franken guns.
Well, you still got companies that are building standard. Smith & Wesson doesn't have anything that's modular. Smith & Wesson's all basic style.
You sure don't pay attention to anything else. You're like me, man. When you talk and I don't pay attention to you, now you're doing it.
No, I'm saying there are guns out there that aren't the modular style. Like
I know. I said that. I said it like 5 times.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm just saying. I'm giving one example for the people that they're listening.
Next thing we're gonna have Polymer 1911. Build your own Ruger 1911.
Well, you can build You can build your own 1911.
All polymer. And paper.
Well, they do have polymer grip frames for 1911s.
Soy parts.
I mean, if you want to go back a couple episodes on the other channel when we got into the argument with Squib that any metal alloy is technically a polymer.
What?
You telling me aluminum is polymer?
A polymer is nothing more than two things go together to make something else. You got polymers. Polymers make up your body.
And see what Rich is doing right now is he's technicalitying us to death. And and before we go, he is right because we are generalizing ourselves to death because polymer now has become plastic. Since these gun companies have went the way of the dodo and bumped out a bunch of crappy guns, now we just associate the word polymer with plastic.
Yeah, it's like I told Squib. All plastics are polymers, but not all polymers are plastics.
So technicalities.
Your children are polymer.
You're made up of protein polymers.
Yeah.
Your DNA is nothing but a polymer of different proteins.
Wow. The secret of the universe all comes down to polymers.
Mm-hmm.
Polypeptide. I just wanted to say the word polypeptide.
I figured as much.
Did you hear that the classic gray aliens people are really like half flesh, half like mechanical robot?
What? That's as bad as barbecue with his giant rhinoceros-sized turtle last night.
No, that's the new inside leak. They're biomechanical beings, so that way they don't age or anything like that, and
Somebody's
they
been
can
watching too much Terminator.
travel in space. Yeah, just like Terminator, man.
Yeah.
That's what made me think. So, like, the government's probably known for a long, long time, and a little bit of information gets leaked out to the uppers, and that's how they came up with the Terminator and shit. They already had inside knowledge of that actually exists. Just like Star Trek had cell phones and automatic opening doors.
It, if you look back at Star Trek Next Generation, Captain Picard was doing his captain's log on a tablet.
See? The privileged know more than us.
Well, the Star Trek the original Star Trek communicator is the whole reason Motorola came out with the flip phone.
You know what's funny? The Dick Tracy watch, from talk and watch TV on his watch, and then you can do that now.
Yeah, smartwatches.
Wasn't there an actual Dick Tracy watch that came out in like the early '60s? Like, was it?
Yeah,
like
it was a toy. It didn't do anything.
watch? But it actually worked though. Like
It was it was one of those little CB radio thingies.
Yeah, and it worked better than the damn Apple Watch works.
Yeah. Well, it was a walkie-talkie. That's what it
Right.
was. It was. They had those when we were kids still.
Did it or did it not work?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they had them when we were kids. Remember when Dick Tracy came out? The Dick Tracy with Warren Beatty? They put him back out on the market again.
All those little plastic walkie-talkies that we would get with like the G.I. Joe combat suit and all that kind of crap, all works better than half our phones do.
Yeah. And we had the Morse code button. And it had the Morse code thing right there on the front of the walkie-talkie. We used to just walk around the house annoying our mother just pushing the Morse code button all the time.
You know, another thing that we should do, we should protest. Michael J. Fox promised us hoverboards.
And hell, the Jetsons promised us flying cars.
Yeah, but we all knew that was a cartoon, and that was not actually anywhat realistic.
Hey, Back to the Future also had a flying car.
Yeah, but it also went back in time, or in the future. So I mean, you didn't have a flux capacitor.
But the flying cars were in the future, which would be now.
Yeah, I get that, but still, the flying car thing, you can understand how many different Morse the cat code.
Hey, if they can have a hoverboard, they can have a flying car.
It
would just be upscaled.
A hoverboard is a lot more feasible considering we have other hovercraft already that exist and work excellently.
Yeah, but they don't work on that principle.
Mass produce a flying car and not have people killed on a regular, like, unbelievable scale every single day.
Yeah, but the hoverboard and the hovercraft that they've had since the 1960s are not the same technology.
That's my thing, is the thing that they've got out now called the hoverboard is not a hoverboard. It's a Segway without handlebars.
I'm talking about the ones from Back to the Future.
Right, that's the one you're supposed to have. A skateboard that hovered, not a Segway without handles.
Yeah, but it's not the ones. Yeah, I was talking about with the hovercraft, because you said they have hovercraft, they can make a hoverboard. The hovercraft and the hoverboard from Back to the Future aren't the same technology.
Well, in theory, they are.
No, they're not.
It's air pushing up off the ground.
You don't have like the air blanket and everything catching the air like you do on the hovercraft. It's different.
That's a different part of the theory. The theory for the skateboard is you didn't need the rubber thing. It just pushed off enough. That's why you couldn't go across water if you didn't have power.
It's not but it's not the same power. It's not the same technology. And yeah, Gary says Jetsons had a flying car before Back to the Future.
Right, yeah, but I'm saying the Jetsons were a cartoon.
Yes, but they had flying cars in Back to the Future.
So no, Fred.
So your argument is that the Back to the Future they had the hoverboard, well, Back to the Future had the flying car too.
Yeah, I know. My also argument
and a flying train.
My argument is the flying car was never feasible. No one with a half a working brain
Hey, the
would
man
have.
with the golden gun had a flying car.
We'll pretend. We'll pretend because it's not actually feasible. A floating
No, they had a real flying car. They
a
put.
floating skateboard is feasible to mass produce.
Have you not seen the James Bond movie, The Man with the Golden Gun? They had an actual flying car.
I understand that. Where's your flying car at now? You don't
That's
have
my
one.
point. We're supposed to have flying cars by now.
No, we're not supposed to have flying cars.
Yes,
Only
we are.
stupid people that have retardation stuck into their frontal cortex believe that flying cars would exist. It's not very. No one actually ever thought we were going to have flying cars by now. And was
Yeah, there
serious.
actually were people that thought we were going to have flying cars, but there were scientists that said we should have flying cars by now.
Yeah, I know. And they were standing in Times Square in 2000, waiting for the world to end too.
Gary says there actually have been flying cars made. They were basically airplanes that convert to land travel.
Yeah.
Or in The Man with the Golden Gun, it was a car that converted to an airplane.
I get it. There's this one thing that happened this one time, that one place with that one guy. I'm well aware of that one thing that happened.
All they got to do is upscale a drone. Like,
Even
I'm not
this
talking about the military drones. I'm talking about the ones like Snob has. You upscale it, put a seat in the middle, you got a flying car.
even the self-tying shoes. Now the self-tying shoes could have been feasible, but I don't think anybody was ever like, oh yeah, that's probably something that we're gonna do.
No, Thelma and Louise had a car that fell with style, Gary.
Yeah, that is true.
they went all Buzz Lightyear. They weren't flying; they were falling with style.
Think about, oh man, could you imagine that? I mean, I know it's a movie, but imagine being in that car and then just seeing the edge coming, and you're still got your foot on the gas, and then there's no more edge, but you can see the bottom coming.
Hey, Evel Knievel did it with a motorcycle.
Yeah, but he wasn't trying to kill himself. He was trying to.
Yeah, he was. He was trying to kill himself.
Yeah,
He just wasn't successful.
Yeah, definitely trying to. Yeah, you're correct. I stand correct.
He broke every bone in his body at some point or another. But yeah.
Yeah, I know. You got to be dedicated. I mean, that's got to be nuts going over that edge and just waiting for the car, because you're not falling that far to have a heart attack and die before you hit the ground. So when you hit the ground is when stuff starts getting real.
Evel Knievel, that's one dude there that was born without a sense of fear.
Or a sense of calm.
You couldn't pay me enough to do what he did.
No, of course. And he wasn't even, he was doing that on a steel, like, street motorcycle, not like that dude does now on the dirt bikes.
Yeah, no suspension is what she was looking for.
Yeah.
The bike broke most of the times when he landed.
Mm-hmm. And so did he.
Yeah. Not always.
No, not always, but most of the time. He broke a collarbone or something else every time he did one of those jumps.
Did you see that thing about the High State player last week? Guy's first touchdown. Had a player, well, we still got him, Cameron Babb, 5th-year senior. He's never played a game. 4 ACL surgeries.
Oof.
Tore the left knee twice and the right knee twice.
Oh.
Still on the team. They made him a captain. They gave him the number 0, the block O. He'd never played a game. Came into this season, got hurt in spring practice. Something else, like his groin or something. He didn't hurt his legs. Put him in the game last week. First career catch, touchdown. And cool. He got mobbed by the team, and he went down the sidelines, and every player on that team hugged him and cried and shit. and the
Uh,
coach said each of those ACLs, that's 9 months recovery times 4.
I thought you were
It's
gonna say he was celebrating and tore it again or something.
Nah, that was a pretty cool moment, man. That kid's worked hard. I guess you can't
Yeah, he
imagine
sounds
how
like he was
hard
snake bit too, man. God.
See,
our
that's
whole
what you
team
hope.
is. We're all hurting this year, but that kid's story of never giving up, and like I'm proud of our coaches and team for not giving up on him.
Yeah.
Any other top team would have kicked him to the side because you're holding up a spot. You know what I mean, for another recruit, but
Yeah.
they stuck with him, man, and it was a pretty cool moment.
Cool.
So you
Well,
hope a kid like that got an excellent education, or he wins the lottery.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, well, if he's laid up for that long, he didn't have anything else to do but study at that point. But I'll be right back. Keep the show going.
You gotta think about that. I mean, uh, you train your whole life, no matter what level of your career you get at. I mean, think about uh, what was his name? Anthony Munoz. He played for the Cincinnati Bengals, and played his whole career and kicked butt his whole career, and then got to the Super Bowl and got hurt on like the second play of the Super Bowl. And he was just a defensive end or a defensive lineman or some stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Yeah, this was a good story for this kid. I mean, I've seen all the replays it'll show on TV, and like every player hugged this kid, and they were hugging and crying. That's how hard this kid's worked, and if by God, we're at war right now. We're preparing for battle. Next week is the game. If that kid would go in and score another touchdown or something big against the team up north, man, he punched his own ticket for life around here. They'll have like shopping malls named after him and fucking car lots. He'll own car lots and restaurants here, and he'll never work another day in his life.
If he's a good kid, good for him. Hopefully, you know, it's always cool to see cool people get treated good.
Here's the one part. You know who he gives credit for all of this?
Barack Obama,
No,
Donald Trump,
no.
me.
He yeah, yeah. He forgot he left you out, but no, he dedicates everything in his life and everything he's done because of Jesus and God and religion,
Good
and
man. Good.
he's a good kid.
Good. Those are good. Those are good ones to give the credit to.
Yeah, it's like our Rudy moment, but real life.
Yeah.
His his mom is like president of some group organization down here, like the High State Football Players Parents Association or something. She did a lot of fighting and a lot of speaking on behalf of the players and their families when they had us shut down on COVID and they wouldn't let us play. She was a big voice, big leader in the group, protesting and getting in touch with the top officials of the Big Ten and giving their thoughts and everything on it because they canceled our whole season and they had to talk them into letting us play like halfway through the season that year. So if it wasn't for efforts, we wouldn't even have had a whole season. So the kid comes from fighting spirit, I guess.
Well, I mean, people gotta. The lesson learned in that is people just gotta stay active. If you're gonna be involved in that, and whatever part of the world you're going to be involved in, whether it's your kid's life in college or your kid's life in elementary school or your life at the office. You better
Yes.
start paying attention to what's going on.
See, if you would technically look at it, she was fighting for these players to get back on the field and play, but at the same time, her son's not going to be one of those players
Mm-hmm.
because he's laid up after surgery again, and as probably she at this point, like after one of those ACLs and then the other, like you start to question if you'll ever play this game again,
Yeah.
let alone go through it 4 times. But his mother started an organization or whatever as president and has followers of the other parents there to fight for these kids to play, even though her kid doesn't get to play. So that just shows she's a fighter too.
Yeah, you'd hope that it would inspire other people to be like, okay, I'm not going to let her stand up there by herself. Let me go up there and at least stand next to her while she's talking.
Yeah, plus the fact his name's Babb, right?
Right.
For 50 years around here, we've had Bob Chevrolet. Every commercial on the TV or the radio, Bobb, Bob Chevrolet. Well, Bob Chevrolet can't last forever, so wouldn't surprise me for the next one to be Bab Chevrolet.
All right. Yeah, don't worry. All he's got to do is just go back to school next year and identify as female, and he could go be the #1 female athlete in all of Ohio State.
He sued all the doctors. They're supposed to fix my knee, not fix my junk.
Well, that's the best play. That's the best thing about identifying. You don't even got to mess with your junk. You don't even got to change your clothes. All you got to do is just identify. You can't stop it now. No, it's gone too far now. Like now, you don't even. Did you see? I'm not even gonna get into it. You don't even have. All you got to do is say it now, and you can't be argued with.
Yeah, I saw the U.S. soccer team, instead of being red, white, and blue, is now rainbow. It's like
Only
their
on the
flag,
internet.
their emblem, or whatever.
Only on the internet. Like when they go on the field, they're still in the red, white, and blue because those Muslims over there aren't going to have that rainbow flag on their field. So they just changed the internet logo basically.
Oh, they did have small tributes to Virginia Tech today. The teams did. And they wore Virginia Tech stickers on their helmets.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, shoot.
Me and Kingpin were just discussing CDC and medical misinformation while you were gone, Rich.
Yeah.
No, that's okay now because they said they were all wrong.
Well,
Election results.
yeah, Jason was talking about the CDC stuff, and I was talking about elections, and I was intimately describing Susan Wojcicki's. I'll just leave it there since you're back.
Yeah.
It stinks really bad and it's really gross. And it looks kind of like they describe Harvey Weinstein's penis. But it's
Hey man, that's no way to describe her breath. Come on.
well, I didn't want to say anything offensive. Oh, see, I got you guys here. I got a strike for the "They Stole Our Idea" video.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, they gave me a strike for promoting violence. So
What?
I appealed it. And I didn't say anything in my when they gave me a warning. The last YouTube has deleted probably 50 of my videos. They've deleted two of them. Like I record on my phone and then I upload them to YouTube. Before they were fully uploaded, YouTube sent me emails twice and deleted my videos. They didn't give me any strikes on them or any warnings. But they just hacked into my videos plenty. My comment section's a whole different story. But I put up a video with Jen Psaki and Dr. Fauci and the whole peanut gallery saying all kinds of interesting things about that thing that happened back then. And they took it down and gave me a warning for medical misinformation. This video, they gave me and when I appealed it, my appeal was fuck you. So naturally, they denied my appeal. This one, I just hit the appeal button, no reason, no explanation. And then they came back and said, okay, never mind. You didn't see any gun. You didn't see any muzzle blast. You didn't see anything except the only thing you could hear was, oh no, they shooting, they shooting. And they gave me a strike, but they took it away.
Huh. So computers must have just auto striked you.
I don't know, maybe it's possible, the algorithm picked up on something because they could hear the gunshots. It could have been some random person was like, "Oh, screw you," and put a strike against my video. I don't really care either way. I appealed it just because the button was easy to push, but I don't care. Susan can have this channel if she wants it.
I had some weird stuff going on the other night in a chat. Uh, I would make a comment and there wouldn't be anything bad in there at all, right? And it would pop up when I hit enter. It would pop up on my chat screen, and I wasn't getting any comments from anybody. And I looked over at my TV where I have a separate stream running, and my messages, if stuff I said wasn't even on screen, right? And I thought there wasn't anything in there that had been flagged. So I called Buck. He had a wrench. So if there's anything I said that was held for review, he has a wrench. He would have seen it. And we were going down through it. Like I'd type in "Good evening, everyone," like I always do, and it would show up on my screen, but it wouldn't show up out there for real in the world. But if I used the @ symbol and then somebody's name, it would pop up and go through. But when I would try to just talk on my own, it wouldn't go through for a little bit. Sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. It let one go through, block two or three without even a hint of a controversial word or anything, just hello and hi and hey, it would block it.
Rich was there that one day. I was talking about getting deleted because it would say YouTube moderator deleted your comment, and not somebody like with a wrench, but YouTube was pulling them off. And then one time I got a Google moderator pulled your comment down.
Mm-hmm.
And Ghost was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What was that?" Because apparently he could see it too. I was like, "Yeah, I
Yeah,
told you that. I told you." And
yeah.
then,
I had that happen a few times.
yeah, me and you was at Rick's chat we were on, and they kept
Uh huh.
deleting everybody's comments.
Yeah. Every time we would make a joke about Biden or something, it would delete our comment. It would say YouTube deleted this comment.
That is suppression of free speech, and that is wrong.
It wasn't even. We weren't even like doing anything really bad. We were just making silly like dad jokes about Biden, and it would just delete them.
my favorite thing to do when that kind of stuff starts happening, because it happens in some of the more. Hold on a second.
You think Elon Musk should buy YouTube?
I don't know if he's got enough money. Because Google ain't going to let that go cheap. Even though they lose money on it every single year. It gives them too much power to. They're not going to sell that for cheap.
He needs to start his own YouTube. Twitter tube.
Don't put it past him. Did you see where people were losing their shit because he put the Babylon Bee and Jordan Peterson back on Twitter?
No, I don't do the Twitter myself. I just know everybody goes crazy because he bought it. And I like to see them be mad at somebody besides Donald Trump every day.
Oh my God, people in the left-wing media still think Ligma and Johnson are two actual real people, and it wasn't a prank. They were just talking about it, I think yesterday or the day before on MSNBC, and they were 100% serious, and were pissed off because Elon Musk rehired them and nobody else.
And they're not even real people.
No, Ligma Johnson. Say them together real fast.
Are you guys talking about the Ligma meme?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, cool. I've seen that going around lately. That's funny.
Yeah, well, there were two guys that were trolling at Twitter saying that they were fired and had all the media out there who are idiots interviewing them, and they still think it was a real thing. They don't get that it is a joke at their expense.
Yeah. Back when I was messing with 4chan more often, the OK, the OK symbol that you do with your hand.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that people call that racist now is because 4chan made them call that racist. Like
Oh, I'm
they
sure.
started making this means white power memes on 4chan to troll people. And then they had this one where they did a troll. They said that for like Black History Month or Black uh, Allyhood or something like that, you should dye your skin black or brown. And white girls were doing full blackface on purpose. Then it got better. They asked them, shave your head for solidarity. And a bunch of these long blonde hair, like, took a long time to get this beautiful long blonde hair grown, were shaving their heads because the trolls on 4chan told them it was a thing.
These people are idiots.
What's up, Snobby?
And this is why the Democratic Party wins elections, because people are stupid.
Rugged, dependable, good looking. I ain't talking about my F-150. I'm talking about the gun snob in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
I think one of the cats is going to kill the other one in a minute. Ground on her damn head off.
what kind of alright, Texas chat. What kind of can we get a sneak preview on what we're going to be talking about on the Hens chat?
Things and stuff.
I would imagine they were all of them were at Wanamaker, right? Except
No.
for C4.
Sarge and OB didn't go.
We didn't go either.
No.
Ghost got banned from Instagram and Facebook, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Snub says it's too secret or they don't have anything. I'm going to go with the latter.
I'm gonna go with the secret because Snobby's got a tuxedo in his icon, so he's
Plus,
sophisticated.
plus, look at the facts. Haven't had a hen chat in a long time, so for them to decide to muster up a hens chat now means they at least have to have some kind of subject.
We didn't have any subjects last night, so, Oh,
It might be those sneaky guys might know Gary's about to get like a severance package, and they're itching to spend his money.
yeah.
They might have something they want to get Gary to buy.
Well, no, Gary's getting them to buy money because he's got Snob, where Snob bought a MacBook, and it potentially maybe almost got Obi to where he's going to buy one. It was like, good God.
Oh, so Gary's got stock in Apple then, right?
Oh,
Just
well,
like Forrest
secretly
Gump.
he's quitting his job at the nuclear plant and going to work for Apple at the Apple store.
Ah, typical computer geek.
But he's not
Just
going to
here
have
for
too
the
much time because
employee discount.
we already volunteered Gary and Single Shot and Ozzy to all be a part of the retired shooting competition teams. I guess you might not have watched Caliber Corner this morning, but we already
No, I
made
didn't.
plans for a lot of people.
Speaking of tearing your ACL and stuff, there was an update on Logan Paul. He did not tear his ACL, just his MCL and his meniscus, and he probably isn't going to need surgery. They're doing physical therapy, and he could be back in a month or two.
Let's rub some dirt on it.
Yeah. I think the other guy, his next fight's going to be with that Andrew Tate character.
Oh, good God, not that asshole.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him going back and forth a little bit, and I'm not too sure. Because both of them are all about social media, so it's a publicity thing. But they're both training, so who knows? I don't know. Andrew Tate's not going to be an easy fight.
No, but they found somebody to get me to root for Jake Paul fighting. So that's something, I guess.
I don't really mind Andrew Tate until the other day. I saw one of his videos and it was. Once I tell you, you'll understand what I mean by it was classic. But until I saw this video, I never saw this side of Andrew Tate. He was getting all kinds of fired up because some person, I don't know if it was a famous person or just somebody on the internet, called him out because apparently he's converted to Islam.
Yes, he has.
And dude, he said something. The guy said something about, "Are you going to blow yourself up now that you're in Islam?" And Andrew Tate flew off the handle and started talking about, "When I find you, you're going to regret this. You can't talk about." I'm like, dude, you're making his point.
Uh-huh.
He said Islam is violent, and you're threatening to kill him now.
Well, you know the whole reason why he joined Islam, right?
I don't know that much about
Islam is the only religion that knows how to treat women properly. That's why he joined Islam.
See, I've never heard any of that. I've only heard,
Yeah.
some of the clips that people play of him.
The guy is a dick. He is a like when I said that they finally found somebody that Jake Paul can fight, that I will root for Jake Paul. I wasn't being facetious.
Yeah, most of the clips that the people play of him are like, 15-second clips where he says something intelligent about, the pay gap or, women in combat or something like that.
Well, you know who David Wood is, right?
That's the guy that makes fun of the Islam all the time, right?
Yeah. Have you seen his new channel? He's got a couple of videos up about Andrew Tate after his conversion, where he plays longer clips of what Andrew Tate was saying. Some Act 17 polemics or something like that.
Yeah, I don't understand how, if you're going to go based off of scripture, per se, if that's what you want to call Islamic text, and then understanding that the hadith and the sahih or sadid or whatever it's called go along with the Quran, and you're going to say that that's a good way to treat women. I don't know. You must be reading different texts than I've read.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a story did come out that in Iran they had arrested thousands, like tens of thousands of people during these protests, and a story came out which turned out to be false that they had executed 15,000 of them. Well, they have executed a whole lot of them, but they hadn't executed anywhere near 15,000. And then there was another part of that story that said that a bunch of the women, that all the women that were virgins were going to be raped before they were executed so they'd go to hell. And I haven't been able to confirm that that's true or not. That sounds Islamic, but
It sounds plausible.
I can't confirm that that's actually true because the 15,000 executed turned out to be drastically false. I mean, there was a couple hundred people that were executed, but not nearly 15,000.
Yeah, the problem is it sounds plausible. Why? Because it's not beyond Islam to do.
Well, apparently, some of the people that were executed got whacked out for killing cops and attacking, soldiers and stuff like that. So, according to some of the stories that I've heard, the protests in Iran are more than "hey, hey, hell no, we won't go" kind of thing going on. Where the internet's understanding of what's going on in Brazil is there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people protesting, and they're not even leaving any trash on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The what we would think was the modern age of complete information, more access to information than ever thought possible in human existence. Did take very long to be more access to disinformation, misinformation.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet, like absolutely nothing yet. You ever heard of a deep fake?
Yeah, yeah, I worry
Mm-hmm.
about that. I think look at what they did here with Biden. Someday we might elect a leader that's just a fake video hologram. You never saw him in person. He didn't go on the campaign trail because of COVID 23. You know what I mean? All you see is these videos that looks like a real person.
Yeah. They did a thing back during the beginning of the whole COVID shenanigans on Linus Tech Tips where they did a deep fake video where most of the video it was a fake Linus Sebastian, the guy that owns the Linus Media Group who does Linus Tech Tips and Tech Linked and a couple other different channels. And at the end, he comes walking out and stands next to the fake him and says, "This was all fake."
Yeah, watch how easy that fake could go bad. You could have like a leader of a country. They put out a fake video and it start a war, or somebody could start a war they wanted and use a fake video from the other leader calling them out to justify it. You know what I mean?
And for anybody who's listening to this in the future who thinks that, oh, you guys are just conspiracy theorists, that's not ever going to happen. That's not true. Go look at catfishing on TikTok or on Instagram. There's really, really ugly women that know how to put on makeup and know how to use filters that look like stunningly beautiful women.
Hell,
And
didn't MTV
15
do a
minutes.
show about that?
You don't cry to MTV. You can
Yeah.
go on YouTube right now and watch clips of it for hours and hours and hours. And a woman will show you, I'm going to take this little pencil and this stick of makeup, and I'm going to turn myself into a beautiful woman. In 5 minutes, she's a different human being.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw uh, some reports and stuff about like the technology to do the deep state videos. One of their first subjects was Barack Obama, and Barack Obama gave they made it look like a speech that he never ever gave ever, but it looked just like him. And they chose him because there was so much, video footage and material to work off of to make it really easy to make a fake video. But to increase their ability with this new technology, all those apps that everybody downloaded on their phone to take a picture of themselves and, change things, you know what I mean? Change their face or, turn them into a kitten or whatever on the screen. They used that technology and information they learned off of everybody on their phone and their apps to further the development of all this.
I'll give you guys a little tip here since I know we can keep a secret from the internet. I'm not actually a bowling pin.
No. Oh my God, the world has just ended.
Now, I expect you to keep that secret.
I'll respect your privacy, brother.
No, you can tell people, just not Rich.
But what about all the pin people?
Oh, thank God I already told everybody.
Well, Kekistan is a real thing. And the pin people have been oppressed for too long. That's another one that I don't know if you guys know much about. I mean, you might be a little bit familiar with it, Rich, but the whole Pepe in Kekistan,
Mm-hmm.
they call us Nazis because we made up a flag of Kekistan that looked like the Nazi flag because you were calling us Nazis, you stupid idiots. So we made the Kekistan flag to make fun of you. We understand that it looks like the Nazi flag with a bunch of green frogs on it instead because we know it hurts your feelings.
Oh man, I know you don't watch Tim Pool, but I was watching his podcast the other night,
He's such a
and they got a thing over in Scotland where you can buy like a square foot of land. And they're like, what if we got a bunch of people together who watch this show and they all go buy that and they all say their names are Ligma Johnson?
Tim Pool. Tim Pool has got over 1 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
The hard bastard guy that I tell you about, I watch his chat and he watches Tim Pool, and a lot of us over there like to make fun of Tim Pool in the chat. And I've only seen one Tim Pool video like 5 years ago, and he was doing an interview with Sargon of Akkad. And so I was like, let me see real quick. And I typed in Tim Pool's name, and sure enough, that rat has got 1 million plus subscribers. I
His
can't.
podcast, his podcast that he does every night really isn't that bad. He gets some interesting guests on there.
He's such a
I know you don't like him.
man. He sucks. Joe Rogan's the same way. Joe Rogan sucks. Oh, I hate Joe Rogan. Bet you Joe Rogan doesn't have a 300 blackout either.
Is that what you want to build? Get it all painted up.
Yeah, that's my first one's gonna be a 300 blackout. Yeah, blue and white and black.
I think I want one, but red, brother.
Uh, there's a red and white one in my list. Uh, we'll talk about that when it happens.
I always have liked the ones that are like airbrushed red, white, and blue flag on them. the Ruger did it, but I mean like the custom ones. I've always liked that look. I also like. I kind of like the Star Wars look. I kind of like white and black. I think that looks good together.
Yeah.
Here's a serious question. You think Barbecue's still on the phone, or did he just forget that he was on the panel?
Mystics out there. Yeah, I've been thinking about that the whole time. What's going on with Barbecue? He's blind. He might be stuck in a room he doesn't know how to get out of.
Maybe.
Patriot can't find his way home from the end of his driveway from time to time, so it's possible.
Yeah.
He put the mask on backwards. Now he really can't see.
Either that or the sheriff drove by his house and seen him walking around with the mask on and came in and arrested him.
No, taking. Oh, you talking about Barbecue?
Yeah.
Maybe he's taking a page out of Patriot's book and is, digging an irrigation ditch with his garbage cans while walking the dog.
See, I told you don't pay any attention to what I say. I just made the Patriot joke just now.
Yeah, but you didn't make that joke.
Yeah, that's the exact joke I made. He gets lost coming back from the end of his driveway.
No, but you don't know. I said about you don't know the garbage can one?
Yeah, no, he drug his. That's the one I'm talking about. Why he drug his trash can around the neighborhood for a half an hour is because he couldn't figure out how to get back up his driveway.
Oh, he said what? No, there's another time where he got the garbage can wrapped around the dog leash. So he was walking his dog or something too.
Oh, let's see, I didn't hear about that one.
Gary said maybe he's looking for his chicken.
I'm gonna have to figure out. You go ahead, Jason.
I'm glad you said something because I didn't know if we all went blind or went deaf or what was going on there.
Yeah, well, we all went blind. That's all we can't hear.
Yeah, just talk louder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 300 blackout for the first one. Most likely go 5.56 for the second one. I gotta figure out what caliber to do for the third one. I'm not opposed to a bunch of 5.56s laying around, but my goal is not to have a bunch of 5.56s laying around. And I've already got 3 of them.
You got to go 450 Bushmaster for when you get attacked by all the rabid white-tailed deer.
I thought, I don't know if you remember from Travis's chats last year or 2 years ago, I was going to do the SOCOM.
You can do that. I mean, there's a
That's
go 50
powerful,
Beowulf.
That's expensive bullets, brother.
That's one of the
350
problems.
Legend.
Is I 200-yard paper target is my max. Most likely shoot just 1 in 200 yards. So I don't want to go. I don't mind spending a little bit on a decent gun and putting a decent gun together, but I also don't want to feed it $9 million rounds. Like I'm not building a 50 cal. I don't want to shoot $5 rounds downrange.
Could get a 5.7 upper that takes the P80 mags, or whatever it is, the FN submachine gun magazine.
Yeah, get your rifles going,
P90.
then get a 9mm AR, man. Smaller
Jason, you're breaking up there, man. Make your connection, dude.
It's okay. G-Webs isn't out there. You can say 9mm.
Somebody must have hacked Jason's computer.
I said 10mm. 10.
All right.
Now Gary's saying that Barbecue got abducted by aliens. Yeah, it's a possibility too.
he was talking an awful lot about anal probes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, biomechanical, man. Biomechanical. That
He's
means a
getting the
bullet will
Cartman.
stop one.
He's getting the same anal probe that Cartman does, so that every time he farts, a giant satellite dish comes out so that he can watch cable TV.
Starlink. I picked up a couple AR parts while I was out there. I got uh, a aftermarket stock. It's just a what they call the Colt Rogers Super Stock. It's I don't know. It's just about like an upgraded stock, like a Magpul or something. But it's marked Colt on it because it came off of a. There was a certain couple years that Colt were selling rifles with those stocks on them instead of like the regular M4 stock. So I picked one of those up pretty cheap, and I got a bipod. I haven't had a bipod before. I got a rifle that I want to put a scope on, so I came across a nice bipod for cheap, so I picked it up.
I like using a bipod when I shoot rifles a lot. The other alternative we have, you can bring your own sled, I guess, but or you could just use your own hands. But we got those old sandbags that you can put your gun on. But
Hmm.
I really like using the bipod. If any rifle that I can put a bipod on is going to happen.
You need to make yourself a shooting sock.
This is a family show, Rich. Don't talk about that
No,
stuff.
do you know what a shooting sock is?
I've never been to prison, but they told me what a shooting sock is.
Homie, don't play
You
that.
take old wore out socks and you fill them with airsoft BBs and use that as a rifle rest.
Why can't I just use the sandbags at the gun range?
Well, if you don't have the sandbags at the gun
Well,
range, like if you
we got the sandbags at the gun.
Or you could use a bipod.
Hey, you buy.
yeah, the bipods cost more than
I'm
airsoft
cheap.
BBs.
I'm cheap. I got a bunch of Picatinny rails, and I just use the same bipod on all my different guns.
Yeah, but Rich, see, I don't feel like carrying a sandbag with me
Well,
when
they're not that
I'm
heavy.
well when I'm laying down in the field across the holler from somebody, and I'm tucked down into the grass. You see, that's where I want my bipod.
Yeah,
Out in the field, man, out in the range. You know what
You
I'm
can
saying?
do that with the
I
shooting
got
sock too.
I got a bipod I don't even know how to use. It came with that. It came with that Colt AR that I bought, and it's all wonky and stupid. And I don't even. I don't think I've taken it out of my drawer since like the week after I bought it.
Wow. Well, I just noticed what time it is, so we need to start wrapping
Yeah.
this up so people can go over and watch the hens chat. So, anything you want to say before we get out of here, Kingpin?
No, thanks everybody for hanging out, and definitely. I mean, everybody here is going to be over at the Hens Chat, so we'll see you over there in a little bit.
All right. What about you, Jason?
Good night, facetious.
Barbecue, are you there? Talk to me, Barbecue.
Talk to me, barbecue.
Let me find the damn mute button. Fuckers here at work.
Barbecue must be getting annoyed by forklift guy. He's having an open faced grilled cheese. That's what it is.
Think about. I was thinking about that earlier today. Just in the time that I've been on the social media, like YouTubes and stuff. Think about how drastically things have changed. Like even just a couple years ago, like the chats used to be off the chain. Now all the chats have calmed down quite a bit, and there's a lot less of them and stuff. But we've had some pretty raucous times on this internet.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost that loving feeling.
Oh, we've lost a lot of people that used to do shows. They're just not doing shit anymore. It's like,
All right, let's wrap it up.
yep.
So basically, you're just saying even YouTube was much better under Donald Trump.
Oh, much better.
Yeah.
Heck, it wasn't that bad under Barack Obama either. That's when we had Google Hangouts.
We started Hangouts under Trump.
Yeah, but it left under Trump, though.
Yeah.
But then again, StreamYard has turned out to be pretty cool. GunTube Chambers, pretty smooth.
As long as you don't have too many people trying to use it at one time.
Well, that's his problem. It's the Jitsi app that he's just modified to GunTube. So, unless he wants to kick more money over to Jitsi or build his own thing, he's kind of limited as what he can do. Plus, he's not going to put a bunch of servers in.
Remember when me and Midnight both couldn't do our shows at the same time because one of us would get kicked off the internet?
Yeah. It used to be funny. We'd be on a show, and it'd be like, oh, hurry up. It's almost that time. Somebody else is getting ready to start a show. Get your plugs in. Get your plugs in.
All right. Anyway, got to play the ending promo, and then we're out of here. Head over to Snobby's channel for the fans chat. Later, folks.
You guys are probably really scared right now, and I understand that completely. But I get the better of the deal, and even though it's 3 versus 2, you guys are outnumbered because we're better than you guys. Yeah, we are. We're legends in our own mind compared to you guys. Even though you guys got the egos, we have got the wrestling skill. And this guy right here, we're the Space Cowboys.